Going raw at 14, hunting mammoths with a stick, dying from ligma cause you forgot to wash your hands. That's just an average Tuesday for teenagers throughout history. Sounds fun, right? Well, just wait until you hear about what it takes to become a man in Asia, Sparta. Believe me, it's not pretty. But which one actually takes the crown for the worst possible time to be a teenager? Well, let's find out. So growing up in the Stone Age is pretty much just playing life on the hardest possible difficulty, cause from the moment you spawn, you're officially old enough to starve, get eaten, or die in basically any other way you can think of. And by the time you're a teenager, survival isn't just some side quest, it's pretty much your full-time job. If you're a boy, your mission is very simple. See that giant mammoth with massive fangs coming out of his mouth? That's your dinner. And here's your weapon. Good luck. Wait, what? How the f am I supposed to? Wait, let's talk about this. For girls it was a bit different though, cause as you can see, they're not really equipped to run after the big boys. So the only thing you need to do is take care of the weakest tribe members and then gather some berries. Easy, right? Just be careful what you eat, cause some of them can make you a bit easier than usual. Wow, look at all the clouds, the trees, the magic unicorns. Is this what heaven feels like? Oh, shit. But if you think that's bad, just wait until Jimmy trips and scares off all the deer. Half your friends are gone by 15, and you just happen to die from a tooth infection. But hey, at least everyone's equal. Shut your bitch ass up, bro. So yeah, living in a Stone Age was obviously not a fun time. But believe it or not, this was nothing compared to what's to come. Fast forward like 20,000 years, and now you're in ancient Egypt. The land of pharaohs, angry camels, and a very distinct lack of chill. So by now hunting was almost entirely replaced by farming, cause nobody trying to run after their food anymore. But if you think that's a good thing for teenagers, think again. See, if you're rich, life was actually not that bad. Boys went to scribe school to learn nerdy stuff like writing, and girls were into more artistic stuff like dance or music. What? That sounds amazing. I kinda wanna go there. Oh wait, I forgot to mention that messing up for boys mean you got a one-way ticket to the Shadow Realm. Forgot your hieroglyphs? Motivation stick. Failed your exam? Motivation stick. Sneeze too loud? Motivation stick. And the girls weren't safe either, because where their lessons were much more chill, 14-year-olds literally had to marry full-grown men. So you still wanna go there? Nope, that's what I thought. So yeah, it was far from perfect, but surprising literally nobody. Most teenagers did it much worse. From the moment they woke up, they got to working in the fields, which meant farming in a hot Egyptian sun, carrying bricks until your back looks like a Pringle. And there was also a small underground project called building the freaking pyramids. You may have heard of it. Hold up, you're saying teenagers help build the pyramids? Yeah, bro, what are you thinking of? Nothing. But what if I told you the girls weren't safe either? Yeah, maybe their work wasn't so intense, but they still had to process food, take care of the house, and make occasional trips to the Nile for water, which wasn't exactly paradise. And of course the marriage thing also applied to them. Holy crap, man, was there anything good about living there? Well, yeah, I mean the food wasn't great either, but at least it wasn't Sparta. I said... At least it wasn't Sparta. Oh shit, he was talking to me. So, what was so bad about Sparta? Well, my dear viewer, I am so glad you asked. Ancient Sparta, where childhood trauma isn't just expected, it's literally the law. Wait, what do you mean by that? So let's say you were just born as a Spartan boy, and the first thing you see is this elite group of old guys examining you to determine your fate. Disabled? Left to die. Too small? Left to die. Too ugly? Left to die. You gotta be kidding me. So the first years of your life were actually pretty normal, believe it or not. Sure, you had to do cold plunges that were trained for physical activities, but nothing too crazy. Until one day. Okay, Timmy, so I called you here because we have something really important to talk about. Yeah, Mom, what is it? So now that you turned 7, you're about to go to the Go-Gay, and I need you to get ready. I Go-Gay? What the hell is that? Oh, Timmy, don't worry about it. It's basically a summer camp to make sure you grow up as a big, strong boy to serve this big, strong city. Sounds good. So, how long do I have to stay there? Oh, Timmy, don't worry about it. Listen, however long it lasts, one day you'll come back and say, I am so glad I went, Mom. You were right. Say less. You were wrong. So the Go-Gay system worked a little something like this. Want food? Steal it. Get caught? Motivational whip. Cry about it? Motivational whip. Complain that you got whipped too hard? I think you got the point. Hold on, but that doesn't even make sense. Like, why would they do this to their own children? Whatever happened to the summer camp? Well, my dear viewer, I totally get why you're confused. And it's because you're thinking with your brain. A fatal mistake often made by smartasses like yourself. Hey, you see, this 13-year-long summer camp was less like a holiday and more like a completely legal child abuse academy in which you turn the young Spartan boys to real men by having them constantly fight, sleep on the ground with no blanket, and show literally no emotion whatsoever. Because that way, they will be much easier to control when they grow up. Sounds fun, right? Nah, bro, so you're telling me they actually took every Spartan boy from his parents at 7 years old? Yes, sir. And sent them to a literal torture camp for 13 years just to turn them into real men? Yep. And I'm supposed to believe this shit? Yeah, bro, this is ancient Sparta, like, did you even watch the movie? So yeah, these guys basically took the phrase tough love and turned it into a war crime. But this is where it gets really bad. You see, the ancient Romans had this thing where they like to go to war with literally everyone around them. Meaning that if you're a regular teenager, you're gonna have a pretty bad time. Hey kid, how old are you? 17, why do you ask? Perfect. Put this on and come with me. You're a soldier now. Wait, what? I didn't agree to this? I don't remember asking. How long do I have to stay anyway? I don't know, about 10 years. But I didn't even finish high school yet. I don't give a fuck. And just like that, you're part of the Roman legions. Congrats. Now you get to carry 80 pounds of equipment everywhere you go, march 20 miles a day in a blazing sun, and eat straight concrete for every meal. Sounds good, right? No. Well, maybe you should have enjoyed it while it lasted. Because your future will just expired then. Motivated by your officer, you get to fight in your first battle. Alright dipshits, listen up. You see those men? They are your enemies. The reason why you're here right now. Your job is to stay in the front lines, hold your shields up, and prepare to run at them as aggressively as possible. Wait, but why do we stay in the front? Cause you're expendable, I mean brave. Very brave individuals. Now, don't panic. Remember your training and wait for my command. We just marched ourselves dry in the scorching sun, bro. F you mean training? Watch out! Frank! Jerome! You good? Get ready. I wanna go home. Charge! And that's pretty much you going to war as a teenager man back then. Sitting in the front lines next to other complete dumbasses. If you charge, you'd run straight into your enemy's spears. If you didn't, you'd quickly find out what friendly fire means. And if you somehow survived the battle, you got to live another day. Until the next one came. And then the next one. And the next one. And then a couple more. I think you got the point. Holy crap, man, and they were doing all this shit at 17? That's actually insane, like, it can't possibly get worse than this, right? Right? Welcome to ancient China, the land of dragons, meditation, and more parties than an Indian soap opera. Now, believe it or not, this time you're not gonna be some slave breaking his back working the fields, or even a student seeing Jesus every time he messes up, but the emperor himself. Wait, what? Emperor? But I thought you were talking about teenagers, no? Yes, sir. The emperor. Yep, a teenager. I have so many questions. So during the Three Kingdoms period, it was actually pretty common for the emperor to get assassinated, cause, you know, ancient China. And what do you do when your massive empire has an empty throne? Give it to his 8-year-old son, of course. Nah, so you're telling me they actually made this little ass kid rule over all of China? Yes. But no, well, kinda. You see, it actually went something like this. Hey kid, your dad just died. What? No time for feelings, kiddo, cause seeing that your only brother is 5-year-old Jamie who laughs at the phrase pee pee poo poo, you're officially the new emperor of China. Oh crap, so I can do whatever I want now? Yeah, but first you need to get some advisors to rule China for you. I mean help you rule. Sounds good. So, how do I do that? Okay, so you have two main choices to pick from. The first of which are the eunuchs, or a bunch of middle-aged weirdos who literally cut off the winners to, you know, serve you better. Okay, and the second one? Well, there's also this friendly little warlord with this friendly little army who definitely won't try to overthrow you the first chance he gets. We are so cooked. So, my majesty, who do you choose? You know what? I'm pretty good actually, I don't need advisors. I said, who do you choose? Say it. I don't know. Say it. Those guys. Good job, kid. The unit just started taxing everyone. And spending all your money. And now your entire palace is on fire because the people are revolting. But hey, at least you're emperor. Just shut up and take me to the next one. So as you can see, being the emperor wasn't exactly a fun experience. But turns out it's not even close to the worst. Because we just reached medieval France and it's about to make China look like a vacation. It's the year 1350, you're a teenage peasant, and your country is about to have its worst couple of decades ever. So as we already established, history wasn't too kind to minors. Meaning that by age 7 you'd be doing basic chores around the house, at 12 you upgrade to harder work like harvesting crops, and by 14 you'd be doing full-on adult work. Okay, but that's not actually that bad, right? Like, it gets worse. You see, around this time France was having a royal dispute with England. So they did what any reasonable king does would do and went to war? They went to war. Okay, so what war is this again? Oh, but that's just an exaggeration, right? I mean, wars don't actually last that long. You're absolutely right. It actually lasted 116 years. I'ma just shut up from now on. So one of the most destructive wars in French history was just beginning, meaning that if you're a regular peasant, you still had to do all your regular peasant stuff, while also hiding away from the English when they came and burned down your entire town. Good luck farming, I guess. Wait, so the English will just randomly show up and burn all of your stuff? I mean, where was the French army? Did they just miss their Alancourt or something? What the hell? Good question. So even though France ended up winning, the war actually started off with England absolutely kicking their ass, meaning that if you're any kind of farmer, you're gonna have a pretty bad time. But believe it or not, being a girl wasn't much better either, because no, you guessed it. If you say they married at 12, they married at 12. For fuck's sake, man. But wait, it gets even worse. Because a little something called the Black Death just arrived in France. You may have heard of it. Wait, you mean the thing that literally killed half of Europe in like 4 years? Yep, on top of the massive war that just started? Damn, bro, these motherfuckers are really going through it. Gaspara looking like paradise. So yeah, on top of all of the other stuff, they now had to worry about literally the deadliest plague in human history. But why was it so deadly, you ask? Well, to put it simply, people were just dirty as hell back then. So when the rats-carrying infected fleas arrived, it was game over for them. And of course you had no real doctors back then. I mean, just take one look at this motherfucker. Bro is clueless. Okay, we get it. This was literally 10 out of 10 on the dog shit dookie bad don't like it scale. But like, what could possibly come next? The actual hell? Well, close enough actually. Wait, what? So, to end this off with a bang, we're talking about none other than Nazi Germany. Now, you'd probably expect me to cover some of the other countries that fought in World War II, like France or England. But it's very possible the actual Germans had it the worst. You see, by 1945 Germany was getting really messed up. I'm talking slapped around by everybody levels of messed up. And what do you do when you're running out of time, soldiers, and you have an angry mustache man in charge? Let me guess, you hire teenagers? You hire teenagers, well, more like children. You know what, let me just show you. So as I said, the Nazis are having a really hard time surviving by now. And so they came up with an incredible idea to fix this problem, which was, I don't know, maybe stopping the war? No, a two-step program that turned children into super soldiers. And it started with, no, you guessed it, 10-year-old boys? 10-year-old boys. What the hell, bro? Alright, Ricky, welcome to the Jungvolk, the future of Germany. Cool. So can I go play Fortnite now? No, Ricky! You are here to become the strongest, most disciplined soldiers who can march for days at a time to defend our homeland. And then blame the Jews if anything goes wrong. Wait, who the hell is Jews? Does he go to another school or something? Shut up and give me 50. I don't have any Robux. And recite the Hitler wrote all you're at it. I don't even know what that is. I don't give a fuck. So the first step was pretty much just training the young German boys to become full-fledged fighting minions who don't have any thoughts except for hating Jews and hating Jewish people. But the second one is where it gets really bad. Congrats, Ricky. You're 14 now. You know what that means? I can go home now. You're old enough to die for your country. Now take this Panzerfaust and go defend Berlin from the Russians. You need to save the homeland. Have you seen Berlin lately? Like, bro, what's left to save? I say go and do it now! Ricky, you see that giant tank coming towards us? Your job is to blow it the hell up. But what if I miss? So what you're gonna do is poke your head out, aim for the tank, and then pull the trigger. I missed. Motherfucker. You know what? Just take this grenade, aim for the wheels, and then throw it as hard as you can. You gotta be kidding. So there you have it. The absolute worst times to be a teenager in history. But which one do you think was the worst? Do you think you could survive them more than a week? And while you think about your answer, just remember, no matter how many times you wanna run headfirst into a brick wall cause you forgot to charge your phone, at least you didn't get eaten as a baby for being born on a Wednesday.